Now it's time to be dangerous. Now it's time to get risky. Now it's time to truly find out what you're made of and what you could achieve. Now it's time to truly find out how many lives you can impact. Now it's time to find out what you were destined to become.
What up, everybody? This is Raw Minds. No fake shit, no sugarcoating this time. I was invited to be on a podcast, Men's Thrive Daily. And we talked about how I built Raw Minds and the shit that I went through, really. And yeah, I laid it all out on the table. It's a great episode, definitely. Before we start, though, please do me a favor. Subscribe on both of our channels, Men Thrive Daily and Raw Minds. We'd really appreciate all that. And drop a like and a comment. And let us know what you think and what's on your chest. And as you can see, I'm sporting some new Raw Minds merch. I'm not really too happy with it yet. So it's still in the works, but it's coming along. I mean, I like the bucket hat. It's summertime, so it's nice. It keeps the sun off my face, so I'm pale, man. I burn, so it's healthy for me. But anyways, let's get into this. This is me, uncut, unfiltered, on Men Thrive Daily. Take it easy.
Episode 15. This is guest number 15. Episode, I guess, about 16. I had a two-parter. So guest number 15 here, Eric. I'm Steve. In 2020, I was hit by a drunk driver. Left me with a traumatic brain injury. Left me on the side of the road. I lost my trajectory in life and purpose and looking for purpose and a way to role model for my kids. I started growing food for folks, and they're saying your volume's very low.
Is it? How about that? Is that better?
And then I started growing food for families in need, and that turned into a housing project. And we housed our first family. I have a second family on the way, lined up to come see the site, so to see if that works out for them. Then we started the TikTok, doing a mental health channel, and we're up to, I think, 700,000 views now. Things are going pretty close. And then I wanted something for subscribers that wasn't mental health kind of focused stuff. So I started the Garden of Friends, which is a tributary park where people can sponsor a fruit tree or whichever. There's a few brackets to choose from. And we'll put like a little tributary plaque memorialized for dedication for someone, a lost loved one, so we called it the Garden of Friends, kind of like a lost but not forgotten kind of thing. And so now we're doing live shows. So this is Eric, and Eric invited me onto his podcast, Raw Minds, a long time ago, a couple months ago, a long time. I've been on here for 3 months.
Yeah.
He was inviting me before I had done anything. I had just stopped doing faceless content and just started I was just navigating it. It was new for me. And so I didn't sound like a dork. I figured, well, I might as well do some lives and try to get a feel for what this is like. And I ended up hosting my own guest before even going on Raw Minds. And now Eric's on my show, I guess. So this is episode 15 with Eric. So go ahead there, bud.
Thank you, man. I just want to say, is it someone's birthday?
Oh, no, my little guy turned 3 the other day.
Oh, wicked. Happy birthday to him, man.
Thanks.
How's my volume now? Is that good?
Yeah, I'm just checking with him in chat. I'll see what he says.
Perfect. Where do you want me to start? Kind of like...
Anywhere you want, man.
All right. Why don't we start from the beginning?
Start where something sad and how you led up to Raw Minds and where you're going today, sort of thing.
Yeah, no problem. So I've been through a lot of trauma in my life, huge trauma, and it's kind of built me to where I am today. Let me just fix this for you guys so where I'm not over on the corner. There we go. So it started when I was 5 years old, really. My mom caught my dad cheating on my mom with a 22-year-old that was going to college, staying in our house. And he came home drunk, got mad that he kicked her out, or my mom kicked the lady out. And then he grabbed a knife pretty much and started running around my house with a knife and trying to stab my mom. And I was 5 years old at the top of the stairs, and I was trying to tell him to stop. And he just turned to me and pretty much said I was a mistake and kicked me down the stairs, and I broke my ribs. And then that summer, my mom put me in a summer camp to get me away from everything. And it was supposed to be for a week. I stayed there for a week. And the first day I believe it was the first or second day. I can't really recall, but I got in trouble. And my punishment ended up being eating cubes of meat from a tray. So there was like a McDonald's tray, and the counselor would stab the cubes of meat with a fork and then shove it into my mouth, stab it again, put it right in front of my mouth again, waiting till I would eat, and that just happened over and over. And I would get up and run to the bathroom, puke it all out, run back, sit down, and they would just keep on going over for a good 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that. As I recall, I was like 5 years old.
It's like a movie.
It was fucked, man. And sorry, my language. I know it's your live. But it psychologically messed up my mind that I had PTSD from eating meat, which is crazy. Yeah. But every time I wanted to eat, I wanted to eat it. It smelled good, all that, right? But when I went to go try it, it just brought up that PTSD, and I would just start puking it up. And my one of my best friends, rest in peace, Chad. He was a crazy cook. He was on Canada Chef or something like whatever that TV show was. Yeah, Master Chef Canada. And he would always try to trick me and put little meat and say, "Oh no, there's no meat." And then I would eat it and "Oh, this is so good." But then, as soon as I knew that there was meat in it, it psychologically just messed up my mind, right? And then I was at the age of 32 was the first time I started eating meat again. I met this girl, and I don't know, something about her. She just inspired me to try it. Now I eat meat, but I mean, it was just a very traumatic thing. Sometimes it bugs me, right? Some different types of meat.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not into the McDonald's and all that other shit. It's got to be real, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of set the stage for, just the punishment, and I carried that, and I never told my mom until later because I didn't. As a young kid, I'm getting in trouble already, and the last thing I want to do is tell my mom and get in more trouble, So I kept that for a long time, and then by the time I kind of opened it up, I think actually we were trying to go after a lawsuit after the lady, and I believe, if I remember right, this is my teens. She passed away actually in a drunk driving accident. So that kind of, and then we could have went after the place itself, but I don't really remember. I was a kid. It was all in my mom and responsibility, but it never went any farther than that. So, I had a really rough childhood, and then I hung out with the wrong type of people because I just didn't have. I was looking for the wrong type of love because I never really had the love. I mean, my mom loved me as best she can, but I didn't have that father figure. And a part of me feels horrible about it. Well, I mean, not part of me, all of me. I just would walk all over my mom. I would just walk all over because I just didn't have that. To the point where I was 14 years old and I was going to go to a rave, and I turned to my mom. I'm like, I'm going to a rave, and she's like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm telling you, I'm going to a rave, and I'm telling you, and I'm letting you know in case you're worried or you want to know. She's like, no, you're staying in. I'm like, I'm be honest with you. I'm just gonna sneak out, and I'm gonna go. So I'm telling you, I was a little pain in the ass, I was, because I didn't have any guidance, and I was hanging out with a group of people. Yeah, let's just say a group of people that very well known to the police, right? So I was going down a bad path, right? And then to the point where one of my really close friends ended up shooting my house because he got jealous over money. And yeah, it was wild. So my house got shot up, and then that was more of an awakening for me. Is like, okay, like, you know, like this is too close to home. My mom, it was crazy. My mom was standing on top of the stairs with a coffee in her hand, and she just like, I knew this was gonna happen. I just knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then the miracle, it was like, when you're in that, it's hard to get out, you know, in that lifestyle in the world. But the miracle happened, and I got a phone call saying that I was going to be a father, and I literally hung up on my kid's mom right after that, called everybody, said, I'm walking away, I can't do this anymore, I want to be a dad. There's no way I'm going to live a life like this and be a dad. And it was all about respect. I'm not going to say who I was with, but it was all about respect, right? It was the people that I was with. It was, and they were happy for me, you know. And I wasn't that high up. Let's just say I wasn't high up in the little, right. So I ended up walking away from there. I called her mom right back up. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be a dad. Like 20 minutes right after I talked to her, I'm like, I'm ready to be a dad. And that moment, I walked away from everything. Never had a real job in my life. Became a laborer. I remember the first day becoming a laborer. I was just scratched everywhere, bleeding everywhere. It was like I hate this, but there's no giving up. And I fought through all of that. And then when my daughter was 2 years old, she was viciously mauled by a dog and had 400 stitches from her, like the forehead to the side to all the way down to her chin.
Crazy.
And I don't wish that on anybody, not even my enemies. Like, I do not wish that. That's something that I hope no one has to go through.
400 stitches is
it was her face was right apart. Like, I could see right inside of her. It was messed up. And it was, my kid's mom wanted to go grocery shopping, so she dropped my daughter off at her mom's best friend's house to watch my daughter. Because let's face it, going grocery shopping with kids, it's hard, right? Yeah. It is hard. So she dropped her off, and the lady just got this brand new, rescued a dog, and the dog had food aggression, never trained, and my daughter went up to go pet the dog while the dog was eating, and the dog just turned around and pretty much mauled her face. And I was coming home from work when I got that call. And I just drove straight to the hospital. I flew, and as soon as I got in there, her mom was outside on the ground, just like flailing, just going crazy. And that moment, I knew it was bad, right? And I ran in there. They got another ambulance to take her to Children's Hospital, and they did emergency facial reconstruction. Yeah. And I'm telling you, brother, I mean, what happened there was just amazing. So we had one of the best. She was 2 years old. Two, yeah.
400 stitches is like the entire body.
Pretty much, man. It was like you think about it, it was up to here, like the top of like where you're.
I had a grown man that had like 70, and it was like a huge.
But the reason too why it's 400 is because it was I'm talking, it was a miracle. It was a miracle. So my daughter got transferred to the hospital, and they had this, like, one of the best plastic surgeons, I guess, in the world, or maybe Canada, I don't know, somewhere. She's from, though, where was she from? Some other country, I forget where. But she was down here actually teaching a course to 18 other doctors, and they put her into this course. I mean, they put my daughter in, and they asked me, like, is it okay if she operates on your daughter? And I was like, yeah, no problem. So 18 doctors were in there watching, and she came out, and she's like, I'm telling you this. No, I'm not bullshitting you. These are the best stitches I've ever done in my life. Your daughter will have a bit of a scar, but you're never even going to see it, because when she gets older, it's just going to be pushed back. And you can't even notice. You can't. It's all the way back to her, like, by her ear. Yeah.
From a dog attack.
So it came down like this, and then it ripped her open here and ripped her open here. So it comes down. It looks like a big FU, to be honest with you. It's pretty sad. And it was, I mean, that was a really hard moment in my life, because I'm standing there in the hospital over top of my daughter, and she's screaming, and the nurse is just holding her face together, and
Yeah.
she's just screaming like, "Daddy, Daddy, please help!" And I'm
Course.
telling you, like, I felt helpless. Like, I just wish it was me sitting on there.
Right.
Like, it was, oh, yeah, it was it was a hard part of my life, man.
Yeah. It's hard to separate that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so me and her mom separated. She got into drugs and alcohol because she blamed herself, and it's, I mean, it's still really bad to this day. I have full custody of my daughter. She lives with me.
Mm-hmm.
But then I met a beautiful woman, and her name was Jules, and it was a crazy story, because we used to go to high school together, and we never talked in high school. And then 22 years later, I just messaged her on Instagram, because I saw she lost like 120 pounds. You know, she just, like, amazing, like, that's huge. So I said, I'm watching you. I'm really proud of you. Like, what you're doing is just amazing, and I hope you keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked her, "Do you still live in Burnaby?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, "Where?" And I said, "My street." And then she said her street, and she lived right behind me. So I went wild, just wild, man. Right? And then so I go on my balcony, and I can see her in her front yard, and she waves at me. And I'm like, this is crazy. So then we start talking, and we started hanging out. One thing left to another. And then we moved in together, and she was my fiancée. Until I found out that she was 4 years clean of opioids. And one day she relapsed again on Father's Day, and that was the last time I ever seen her. And I thought that I had my whole life figured out. It was like we talked about, even kids, everything, the whole future. And then it was like, you're standing on a street, all these houses are in front of you, and then all of a sudden it breaks and everything just drops, and it's just black. And that's what it was. And it was probably one of the darkest times in my life, definitely, besides, what happened to my daughter. And I just felt really alone, from like suicidal thoughts, just everything, like, why is this happening? And mind you, before this, I lost so many friends before this. My best friend passed away. Just in a 3 weeks span, I lost 4 people in 3 weeks that were really close to me.
Yeah. From the same kind of causes.
Pardon me?
From the same kind of causes, like from overdosing and that sort of stuff?
Overdose. There was a drinking and driving incident where this guy ran my friend and his sister off the road. And then my other friend, he ended up taking his own life, unliving himself. And it was really sad, really sad. So, and then not to mention too, I had a dog I had for 13 years. And she was dying in my arms. This is really hard too. She was dying in my arms. I called like 40 hospitals, like pet hospitals, you name it. I even called. There's 3 companies. I called them, different companies, and they come to your house and euthanize your dog. And they wouldn't show up until the next day, because my dog wasn't a patient in any of them, and they were so busy that everybody couldn't take my dog that day. So I pretty much told my dog I loved her, gave her a kiss and put my arm around her neck and gave her a big hug. And it took me 3 times. And I'm telling you, man, that was fucking hard. That was really hard. And that was just after I lost my best friend. And then the year after that is when I lost my fiancée. And yeah, I was at a super low point in my life, definitely, But thank God for Joey.
Especially when you don't have like enough time to kind of rebuild momentum and self-confidence and trajectory and life plan, and
Everything.
you're like lost, and then something disaster happens and you get more lost. It's like, I'm already lost in the sea here. I don't know where the shore is, and then you get hit again. It's like
I felt like just a life's punching bag. You know what I mean? But they say, like, you get what you can handle. But I mean, like, fuck, I'm tired of handling this shit. I really am, man. You know,
Yeah,
but I mean,
it seems cruel sometimes, doesn't it? It seems
definitely,
unnecessarily cruel. Like it didn't
definitely.
have to be that bad or something.
Yeah, I mean, I just, and it's been like that, and I try to put good out, I try to do good things. I try to like do the best karma possible. And it's just I just keep on getting knocked down. But you know what? At this point in my life, I'm just like, what else do you got for me? You know what I mean? I gotta
Yeah.
take it as as is, and just learn the lesson that it's feeding me, so I can grow and just be a better person.
Because then it's not for nothing.
Yeah,
Right? It's not
exactly.
for nothing. Nietzsche says that a man with a Y can bear anyhow, and it's like it's not like that's what gets guys out of POW camps. It's the family up here. It's the wife. It's the kids back home. It's the guys that don't have that. They don't even lock the door because
Yeah,
they don't try to escape.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? And as soon as you have a
yeah,
reason,
definitely.
like, then you can bear that suffering. And it's like, so if you can, you're on the right track where it's like, if you can find the lesson, find what am I gaining? Am I gaining strength? Am I getting resolve? Am I getting, you know?
Yeah,
And then it's like, then you're not suffering for nothing because if it's for nothing,
yeah.
it's easy for people to check out or give up or,
Oh, 100%. I mean, I was like that. Actually, let's rewind a little bit. In 2015, after her mom kind of went her way and got all crazy and everything with
yeah,
the alcohol and addiction. She ended up running away with my daughter for 3 months, and I you want to talk about feeling alone, and helpless, and you don't know where
yeah,
your kid is. I mean, that broke me. That did break me, to the point where I did try to, not wake up anymore. I ended
hmm
up taking some stuff, and put me in a coma for 2 days. And luckily, my friend saved my life. He came over, um, to my house just to check up on me. My door was like, it was a sliding door in the back, and he
yeah,
just opened it, came in, and found me unconscious, on my bed, tried to wake me up, and then called 911. And then I woke up. I
amazing.
uh, did the whole thing in the hospital. They keep you there for a little bit, evaluate you, talk to people, blah blah blah. Which it's a big fucking joke, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Powell River, where my dad was. Like, me and my dad started talking again, and he actually came down the next day I got out. He came down with 2 trucks. I put everything that was most important to me in those 2 trucks, and I moved to Powell River. He had 18 acres with like 7 horses, and it
Mhm.
was it was a nice. I needed it. It was a reset.
Therapeutic. Yeah.
Reset. Yeah.
That's what they said in
Yeah.
the chat. You needed the break to breathe.
Yeah. Exactly.
As I said, it's right. You kind of, if you can't, you get out of the storm, find a shoal, find a rock. You kind of hang on for just a couple minutes, catch your breath.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like you find a new direction. Okay, I'm gonna head this way.
Yeah. Well, it was just exactly, it was my reset. And every day I would wake up in the morning, I would drive to Tim Hortons, I'd grab 2 extra large double doubles, I'd go down to the dock in Powell River. And if you guys don't know Powell River, it's a beautiful, quiet place.
Mhm.
And I would just go down to the dock, and I would be listening to music, and I would just, like inspirational stuff, like whatever. And I would just try to reprogram my mind.
Yeah.
And then I just fought for my daughter. I was like, okay, fuck this. I got to find her. Found out where she was. Got a lawyer. They said it was going to be $8,000. It ended up costing me $64,000. And yeah. So now I have 50. I had 50-50, but then her mom slipped up again. So now I have full custody, which is pretty amazing.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I know the dark side, man. And it sucks. And at that moment too, it's like I felt like I lost everything because my daughter was gone. And
Yeah.
I was just but then when I woke up, it was crazy. It was in the hospital, and I was like, where the hell am I? Like, what the hell happened? It was like, I didn't even know what happened. It was, yeah,
But when you found her, know it or not, like the forest for the trees or whatever, it's like that gives you hope that you can
yeah,
conquer pretty big obstacles once you got her back,
yeah,
right? Which is going to pay off when you lost your fiance.
yeah, yeah.
Same kind of thing. It's that significant, very quick overnight loss.
Hmm.
It's like, man, I conquered this mountain one time before. It's like
Yeah.
that's quite the blessing. Keep you
Yeah.
on.
I mean, she's my world at the end of the day. She's my best friend. She's my world. She's the real reason why I'm here. The why. If she knew how much, I
She
needed her
doesn't.
more
She
than.
doesn't know. She doesn't know. She will.
Yeah,
We might
exactly.
live forever. All this stuff will be here like 20 years from now when she's.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, she's going to see all this shit, right? So
Hi.
exactly.
Say hi to her.
Yeah. Yeah, hi Ken.
2025.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I know loss very good, right? And like my mom was a nurse. So like when after my dad left, um I watched every single one of my family members pass away in my house because they didn't want to die in the hospital.
Yeah.
So they wanted to die in my mom's care in our house.
Mhm.
So as from like 5 years old all the way up to 18, man, I was like help bathing them, changing their adult diapers, help moving them, So I didn't really have like the best childhood growing up, right? So and I knew death, you
I
know.
mean, you gotta. It's. I'm on this thing where things aren't really good or bad. They're just life events. I'm kind of trying
Yeah,
to call them. And
yeah,
it's like you were learning skills.
yeah. But I mean, no kid should have to go through that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They should be
Maybe,
worried.
but
Uh,
no, but like my dad was really abusive and stuff too, right? And it's like
yeah.
after my car accident, I realized same as Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins says the same thing. Tony Robbins counseled what millions of people, and he's like, if my mom was the loving mother that I wished she would have been, I wouldn't be here helping people.
Mm, that's true.
And it's like, and so she used to pour dish soap down his throat when he get in trouble or whatever.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
well,
But yeah, it's
like my childhood equipped me with tools. It took me a near death experience and it took
yeah,
me significant losses to realize, oh, that's where that grit and resolve comes from. Suffering when I was little, that
yeah,
it didn't connect till I was in my 40s.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Oh, thanks, Dad.
well, that's it though. Like it. Sorry, I'm just close. I'm getting no volume on my other one, so I'm gonna just shut that down. I mean, that's what it is. Really, is like you said, grit, right? And you can't really teach someone that. They have to go through it. You know what I mean?
That's my goal, man. That's the whole
Yeah,
point of this TikTok for me. Trying to figure out a way to
yeah,
teach it,
yeah,
because I got questions for you for that, right? Because you've got quite a few points there
yeah,
where I mean, waking up out of a coma, or like you say, losing your fiance is a big one,
yeah,
and
yeah,
there's a choice right there. You could have relapsed.
yeah, yeah.
You could have chose that life. You didn't. How come? What makes you different? Put 100 people in that exact same scenario. Not all of them are going to choose to go to work. You know what I
Yeah.
mean, or whatever.
It was hard, man. I'm telling you, like when I lost my fiance, it was hard. I took 2 weeks bereavements or whatever it's called, bereavements off or whatever they gave me. Yeah. And I took those 2 weeks off, and I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it. I had to go back to work because I'm
Distraction.
well, yeah, and I'm sitting in the house, that we lived in, and all our things were here. But it like, and it was ugly, man. I mean, people are fucking brutal, dude. When death happens, it was ugly. Like, I got treated like shit, like it was my fault,
Yeah.
and
Well, they
because of
want to
my
blame somebody, right?
yeah, and because of my past, and like people can't see past the past. Yeah, I did bad things, but that doesn't determine who I am today.
Right.
What I'm doing today should determine who I am today.
Yep. Yep.
And
100%.
people just can't see. People can't see through that, man. And
Well, nobody that ever got in trouble with the law would ever be acceptable.
yeah,
It's foolish. And it's
yeah,
like anybody who sits there and looks down their nose at, like, I know enough people that have been to jail, right? And it's like, you just didn't get caught. You did the same
yeah,
stupid stuff when we were 20. You drove after that, or did this when on a Saturday night at 2 a.m. We've all done it. That guy got caught. You didn't get caught. That's the only difference.
yeah,
You're no
yeah,
different. You're no better. You're no
yeah.
different.
Well, I hate these people, right? They judge everybody else, but look at your own life, man. Like, who are you to judge?
Read the
It's
Bible.
yeah, it's true. But I mean, like,
So,
yeah, and it just it changed me definitely, and that just made me want to. It's like I felt alone, off of losing her. And thank God for Joey. Like, he was the first host, like my co-host that I had. We started it together.
Yeah, well,
And he
so
was
what happened next? So after you've lost her,
yeah.
how do we get to here? Like, what made that decision?
Yeah, so Joey would come over every day after work. He just lived he was working down the street from me, and I would just be at home. And he would just come over and he would just sit with me. Like, wouldn't say anything. He would just sit right beside me because I just needed someone to hold space for me, And I would say something maybe out of the blue, like, I can't believe this, and then I would cry, And he would just sit there and hold space, and that's all I needed. Sometimes that's all we need. We don't need someone to give me advice. No one's going to say anything that's going to make me feel better, And it's true. No one's going to be able to do that. But, that's what he brought for me, and I would probably say it saved my life. Him holding space helped save my life,
Okay. Almost nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Just sitting on the couch.
Less is more, brother. Less is more, And I one day we were sitting there, and I remember exactly, we're outside on my patio furniture, and I'm smoking a J, and I turn over him. I'm like, I want to help people. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I want to help people. I don't want anybody to feel the way I feel right now and know that they're not alone, or that they're alone. I don't want people to feel that they're alone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to do a podcast, man. I want to do a podcast on men's mental health and help people. And I just got goosebumps. It was crazy. He's like, no way, man. He's like, no way. He's like, look at my phone. He was screenshotting podcast equipment because he was thinking about the same things. How crazy is that?
Must be a coincidence.
Yeah. And then we just hit it off, man. We just hit it off, and he was waiting for his equipment. I already bought my equipment. That day I bought it, and it came the next day. Yeah. And I was like, I started making episodes because I was so excited, and I did like 2 episodes. And I'm like, are you sure you're in this? Like, I made it just in case he wasn't fully in. He's like, no, I ordered it. Let's do this. So then I got rid of those episodes, and then I started doing it again with him. And today is amazing. We've saved multiple men's lives from committing suicide. We're just hit 27 different countries, and we're just, we have guests from all over this world. Thank you. Guests from all over this world come on. I mean, this is how I met you. And I've also paid it forward and helped others start podcasts. Not just you, but I mean, I have other people like Dad Talks and other people, and I give them the pointers because I have no idea what the hell I was doing. I wasn't like computer savvy and all this, and all it was is lots of YouTube. I YouTubed everything, I researched everything, ChatGPT'd everything, and now Raw Minds is a well-oiled machine, and we're doing good. And I just opened up now 2 Raw Minds Society, so I have a nonprofit organization that I have no idea what to do or how to get my foot in the door, but I mean, whatever. I learned this, so I'm working on that.
Like they say, the heaviest weight at the gym is the front door.
Exactly, man. Exactly.
Just gotta jump in, man.
Yeah.
It'll work out.
And that's what, like, at least now I have it. You know what I mean? I have the society, and now I would like to give back and help men out there. Not just men, though. Don't get me wrong. Women need it too. But I mean, I think
60% of my subscribers are women, and it's like, or my followers or whatever. It's like Men Thrive Daily with all like 60% women, 65% women. Like, whatever.
I mean, I think I'm 40% on Spotify alone is women on there. And it's like, who the hell would I be to turn anybody away from mental health, man?
That's why I said nobody gets left behind.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
saw one time with a girl that just seemed like she's having a hard time. I was on for 7 hours on the live.
Really?
I was exhausted. It took me like a week to recover. But it's like the girls, the usual girls there. They're like, Steve, go to bed. Like, you got bed. They're like, I'm holding my head up like this. And they're like, I'm not leaving her alone.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I love. Like, well, we've talked before multiple times online and offline, right? And we have the same values, I believe. Like we just want to help people. And I mean, do you find though
it's the hurt?
Yeah.
You go through bad enough things, and then it's like exactly the same thing. It's like I I didn't start this to make myself feel better. I did it so other people wouldn't feel how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And then it turns out to
Yeah.
be quite therapeutic for me. And I
Yeah.
didn't realize that would be a thing, but it is. It helps. I get a lot of benefit just making stupid videos and
Yeah.
airing out my thoughts or whatever. And it's like
It's therapeutic. Like, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say.
therapeutic.
Yeah,
Therapeutic.
therapeutic. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
It's true, and
Yeah.
but the intent was all just to try to help others, and it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Paying it forward. I don't want money for anything. You know what I mean? I just want to help people. You know? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. I just started a clothing brand, Raw Minds Clothing. So I got like hoodies, hats, shirts, and all that. But that's just to help fund because it is expensive. Like it is expensive. Everything I pay out of my own pocket, right? And if people want to support it, that's totally cool. If they don't, it's totally okay. It doesn't matter to me at the end of the day. As long as you take something out of what I'm trying to offer. And it could be anything for just have a good day, to love your neighbor. You know what I mean?
So I've asked probably at least half my guests. I always intend to, but it doesn't always seem to come up organically. But I think I'm going to make it a standard from now on because pretty much all my guests have suffered. I don't really get any, maybe one or two people that have been like, they're on for a different reason. But for the most part, it's people that have had it hard. Like my last guest was burned with like splash gas.
I was there. Yeah.
And then the one before that lost 2 children to a genetic illness. And so now you've done all these things. And it's like, it's because I had a therapist there that asked me, I guess, or we came to talking about. And it's like knowing the good that has come out of, it's like, how could I call it a tragedy if I'm helping people? How can I look back at my car accident and be like, what a tragedy? Because in order for me to do that, I only have to see my own perspective. So it's like, maybe in terms of what I wanted in life or my plans or whatever, it's maybe tragic, but it's like, it's led me to TikTok, which I never would have been on. And like you say, I talked to a guy out of self-checkout in the first week or two that I was on here. And it's like, now you get people in the comments, like you're improving lives. And it's like, I feel like it would be selfish to call it a tragedy now.
Yeah.
It changed my life trajectory for sure. But now that I've kind of come to terms with where life is going now, like I wanted to say that at one point you had said something about being in a really darkest place in your life. And it's like, that's the dead end. And like I talk about this all the time. And it's like, there comes a time where it goes from being a dead end to a detour. And now it's like didn't end. It's not over. Maybe it feels that way for a while. But then it's like, the guy last week talked about that, and he said how your life pauses when you're in recovery. Like, and it kind of clicked for me. It was like the year after my accident, I didn't do anything. All I did was go to treatment. I didn't grow. I didn't learn. I didn't understand. I just pissed off and bitter and just head down, and it's like life was paused for a while. It was like a dead end. I lost all my dreams. I told my wife, I was like, I've lost the ability to have dreams because I have no idea what the future holds.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's almost you rebuild. You have to you forget who you are, and you kind of have to rebuild it. And not saying even like with the brain injury or not, like it goes with everything with that.
Well, trauma, trauma period.
Exactly.
I had, physical trauma. Yours was a life, psychological, emotional trauma, like a loss. And it's like trauma's trauma though, and
exactly.
Hopefully the tools are very, very similar.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I always ask myself, like, knowing the good that has come out of it, would you go back and go through that all again voluntarily? You saved 4 lives. It's like, would you suffer through all that again if you had a genie and lamp?
Yeah.
Like, and for me now, it's like, yes.
Yeah. I hear you, man.
Couldn't imagine saying that a couple of years ago.
Even it made you do what you're doing right now, and it made me do what I'm doing right now. It put me in this seat. If one little degree was off, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here right now. If it was a
little bit less difficult or less tragic, we wouldn't be here.
We would have never met. Raw Minds wouldn't be here. Men Thrive Daily wouldn't be in here. Like nothing. Like it wouldn't. 1 degree, and that's all it takes in this world is 1 degree. And when you want to change yourself, you just change that 1 degree every day. And you think of a ship. You're going straight. and every day you change that 1 degree, that ship's not going to get where it was going.
Yeah, it's 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but it's like it took a lot of heartbreak and get beaten up though to get where I am, and that's as sad as it is. A lot of these stories, and like a lot of people that have gone through things that are doing great things, you know, they've been in these situations before, and you have to go through this shit and feel it most of the time, because like you said, you it's like we've walked through the fire and now we're holding people's hands, walking them through because we've been there.
I've been making videos recently about suffering being a tuition for character development.
Mm-hmm.
And people will voluntarily go to college and suffer for 4 years and miss out on life, and just to get a piece of paper or learn some skills or whatever. And they'll even pay for it. They'll pay $100,000 to suffer. Yeah. And it's like once you crest that hill and like you write your exams, then you get hope. And then the next time you get an exam, well, you got hope from the last time you suffered that you can do it next time. And it's like, it's kind of interesting. And it's all like, I've really been on this thing for the last couple of months where it's about perspective. I had an example with my kid, and I said, if I meet somebody who has no money and I have some money and I give him my money, I said, is that good or bad? And he goes, well, it's bad because now you don't have any money. And I said, but what about the guy who got the money, who had no money? Is that good or bad? And he goes, well, it's good because now he has some money. And I said, okay, so how can something be good and bad at the same time? Mm-hmm. I said, all that matters, the action hasn't changed. It's a money transfer. Nothing's changed. But it's like, if you're the giver, it's like bad. And if you're the receiver, it's good. And it's like, but nothing objectively has changed. So all that changes is where you're standing relative to the money. And it's like, okay, so if we can look at life and suffering, and it's like, they become necessary steps. They're not tragedies. They're like they're necessary steps for me to be here today, to talk to this guy, to talk to that guy, to save this person, to help that person. It's like, they had to happen like that, right? And it's like, I really toy with that idea. I've been thinking about it for months, about going back voluntarily, suffering all over again, if I had the choice. Because it's kind of like, if I was to ask you this at the beginning, you'd say, no way. No way I would lose all of that and suffer through the dog bites and suffer through all these things to get to saving 4 guys' lives. But when you're on the other side of the suffering and you can look back and you're like, it was, you know, I made it out. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how to word it.
I totally get what you're saying.
You like, I really,
say? It's like, well, my last guest that came on, my last guest came on. He said this exactly. Well, not last, but Randy Lehman. And he says that, you know, you have to go through these things. Like my fiance was meant to die. I had to feel that,
correct.
You know,
that's my point. Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. And that was my journey, and that was her journey, you know, and how I honor that is through my podcast, you know, and how I honor her is through my podcast. Like this is the reason why I do this, and her death is not in vain, I guess you could say, from drugs.
Correct. Because now it has a why.
Yes.
Correct.
Exactly.
And it's like, and to get you to raw minds, the how was that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. If the week before, be like, listen, your fiance, like, you know, you got a future visit of your future self, the Christmas movie, you know, the ghost of you know?
Scrooge or whatever. Yeah.
You have to lose your fiance, but it's going to be really cool because you're going to save lives.
Yeah.
You'd be like, absolutely not. I wouldn't take that trade. Not in a million years. But now you're over here and you look back and that like you gained wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
The experience with the time and the thing, you know, and it's like,
yeah. Well,
like, I want to say
human
it's okay,
beings,
but you know what I'm trying to say? I don't have the words for it, but it's
100%, man. But
like
here's the
okay.
thing: human beings are scared of the unknown. That's what we are, scared of the unknown. That's why we always want to bet on, and it's not even just for like the betting wise, but you want to know who's going to win. You bet that money, and that's what it is. You know, like for sports, in anything, we always want to know. And if we don't know, you know, I could name a lot of people that get anxiety because they don't know what's going to happen next. You know,
I've seen studies where people get diagnosed with cancer and they are relieved because the day before they didn't know if they had cancer or not.
Yeah,
and that
definitely.
Not knowing is worse. And then the doctor's like, you have cancer. I'm like, oh my God.
Thank God. Yeah, because then you know exactly. And as humans, that's what, like, we need to know, you look at life and everything, like you need to know, like what it is. And that's why it's a hard decision, and it's hard to say, like, would you do that? Because you don't know what's going to happen in the future.
But it's amazing how your brain has adapted to all of that. Like
Yeah.
I said, I did a video, a couple of, I don't know, let's say within the last 10 probably. And it like almost put me in tears because I was like, I played it for my wife back, and I'm like, listen to how I'm talking. I sound like a different person. I didn't say things like, oh, that's when my life changed and ended after my car accident, and there wasn't the end of the world and all those horrible losses and these deficits. And it was just like, well, then I faced some challenges, and then I adapted to that by learning this new. And it was like, I sounded like an alien. Like, who is this guy that's like not super negative? I was just not a super negative. Like, it wasn't amazingly positive, but there was like no. And I've heard all the people with their whole like speaking over yourself, and because one of the brain injury groups that I'm in, the girl that runs it used to chirp me constantly. I'd say, well, this is the worst thing ever. And she's like, well, it's not bad. It's just not really, and I'm like, shut up, stop. Well, now here's me. Like, the slow creep got me, and now I stopped abusing myself in here, saying, you're a piece of garbage because you can't do math, or, like all that. I don't know. It just clicked the other day. I was like I was playing the video back to put the captions on, because I always like try to proofread the captions, and it was just like, it felt foreign listening to myself. I just filmed it 2 minutes ago. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, who's this positive guy who's happy with his life? I'm like, what is that? Like, don't you remember you got a brain injury? And I'm like my life now today is probably the best it's ever been. Ever.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing.
How could I trade? That's with my injuries.
Yeah.
Like, it's like an overall score. If out of 100, this is the highest score I'd have today, right now, in the last 6 months.
It's almost like a superpower, in a sense,
Who expected that at any point? The day
that's what my ADHD, man. That's what I call it. That's my superpower. Like I said too, like my whole slogan is from pain to power, and that's what this is. We've taken the pain and we've pushed it through, and we've done amazing things and keep on doing amazing things. That's what it's all about. Helping. We're all brothers and sisters in this world, man. We got to take care of each other and help each other.
That's what I say. Suffering unites us all. It's something we all experience. We all know it. Doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, tall or short, or old or young, or what color you are, or who you voted for. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
But it really sickens me, though, like how people, like I was saying earlier, I'm just going to rewind a little bit of how people act when in situations like this too. Like,
you said, though, they're scared.
Pardon me?
They're scared.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle it,
Well, I got blamed for her death. I was at home with my daughter and my daughter's best friend. And I'll tell you the story if you got time for it still. I'll tell you. So it was the day before Father's Day, 2023. It was May 17th. And Jules is her name. She got a UTI, urinary tract infection. She's like, wasn't feeling good. And I was at home with my daughter and my daughter's best friend. We just came back from Playland. And it's like a really shitty version of Disneyland, like really shitty, right? Yeah. And so she didn't feel good, and she's like, I'm gonna stay at my mom's house. And her mom lived a block away, right? So we live in a house that their parents built and owned, and then her mom lives in her house that they own. They had a bunch of houses. And so she's like, I'm just gonna stay at my mom's house tonight. I'll come back in the morning and I'll see you for Father's Day. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine, no problem. Goes home, and then I see her in the morning, and man, it looks like she was up for a whole year, didn't sleep for a whole year. And I didn't even put two and two together, right? Like, she had bags and stuff. I saw in the morning she had like some Father's Day stuff for me. I was like, as soon as I opened the door, I'm like, holy cow, you look tired. Like, why don't you go upstairs and sleep? And she's like, no, I just wanted to come by, see you on Father's Day, give you your gifts. I'm going to go back to my mom's house, take a nap. When the girls go home, I'll come back to your house and I'll see you. I'm like, I'll come back to our house and see you. I'm like, okay, no problem. So that night, like the night that she first stayed at her mom's house,
Yeah.
her mom gave her an OxyContin for the pain, and it's obviously synthetic, right? Yeah. Opioid. So then her best friend came over that night as well, and her best friend stole 4 of those OxyContins off of her mom and gave it to her. So she was up all night, dropped off the presents. In between her leaving, and it was amazing though. So she came, she stayed, she gave me a big hug. She told me she loved me, and then she walked to the door, and I will never forget this. She turns around, she smiles, blows me a kiss, says, "I love you. I'll see you later." And that was the last time I ever seen her. And she walked out the door. And then that night, I had my daughter all day. We talked a little bit. She said she was going to sleep. So I drove my daughter. It was about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. I dropped my daughter and her friend off. I'm on my way home, and I'm calling her phone, and it's Father's Day, and she's not picking up. And I'm like, fuck, like, what the hell, right? Like, I want to spend time with her. So then I drive by her mom's house. I'm like, I'm going to see if she's there. I drive by. It's a block away. I see her car there. I'm like, she's probably sleeping because she looks so tired.
Yeah.
I went home. And I was just, laying down, and then I started texting her, like, hey, like, it's Father's Day. I really want to spend the day with you. Like, you're not, like, what the hell, man? Like, this kind of hurts me. I haven't seen you all weekend. Like, if you don't feel good, I'll help take care of you, whatever you need. I end up passing out. I woke up in the morning, and I literally woke up, and I was puking, like, instantly puking.
Yeah.
And, like, it was, like, I don't even know. Like, I just knew.
Yeah.
And I called her phone. It was ringing, nothing. She wasn't picking up. I was texting her. And then I called her mom, and I thought her mom was laughing at first. I just thought her mom was laughing. And then she's like, she's gone, Eric. She's gone. Bring her back. Like, bring her back. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, she's dead. She's dead. And I just ran right over to their house in my boxers, like, because it was a block away. I drove, ran right over there, and yeah, there was police in the house. They wouldn't let anybody go upstairs yet until the coroner came. Yeah. And I mean, her mom. I wish her mom called me earlier, but I mean, I can understand the situation. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, I was just at that point, I was just all over the place. And yeah, so the coroner said that she passed away at 10 o'clock at night by OD. And her mom found her in the bedroom on the ground. It was sad. So that day, I was at their mom's house, everything. Their family shows up, and they're like, you can leave. You're not family. This is a family matter. You can leave. And toss me right out. And this is like, after her mom's like, oh, I love you. You're amazing. I want you, like, I can't wait for you to I call you my son-in-law. I'm already going to call you that. I love your daughter. Like, all that stuff. You know what I mean?
She doesn't want to blame Jules, so she blames you.
Yeah. What happened, right?
But you gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta
but you know what?
That's what she's doing. It's not, she didn't mean it. She just can't blame the daughter.
But so then no, so she was totally fine. It was the family that started pushing out first.
Same thing. Yeah, they just don't want. They want her to be perfect in here.
Perfect.
The memory. So you're just like, okay, man. Yeah. Well, it's okay.
Well, check this out. So the second day, the next day, I showed up to her house, and they told me I had 2 months to move out of the house. My fiancée just passed away. The second day I come over to check out on her mom, and they tell me I have 2 months to move out of the house. 4 days later, there's a whole group of these people, not even her family, it was her sponsor. And I'm going to say this, and I'm even making a post, like, I'm going to be talking about this on my podcast. So I just found something out, and I'll tell it at the end of this. But so her sponsor shows up with her husband and a bunch of these people. They come into the house, and they just take everything. Like, I have no room to breathe, nothing. They took everything, left a mess everywhere. I had to clean it up. It was horrible. And then my car was under her name, my fiance's name, because I was at work. This car was on sale. She came by. I gave her money. She went, paid for the car, like, bought the car, put it on her insurance, and so on. And we were supposed to switch the insurance a week after she passed away. That's when we were supposed to switch it. Just Murphy's Law, right?
Yeah.
So it went into probate. Car went into probate. And then they made me buy my car back for $6,000.
They sound like
yeah,
people you don't want to be friends with anymore.
So, and when I showed up to the house, because I had to hand over the keys, bring over the car, bring all this, right? I'm gonna say straight up, I don't like her sponsor. She's a fake person. She was very mind controlling and controlling this whole thing, right? About what happened. I show up to the house. I come around the back. Jules' mom is sitting there outside having a coffee with the sponsor and her husband. And I show up and I'm like, hey, can I, like, I have like the insurance papers, everything in hand. I'm like, hey, can I please speak to her mom? And they're like, oh, yeah, no problem. So they get up. Her sponsor goes inside, but her sponsor's husband stays outside. I'm like, no, I would like to speak to her alone, please, because, this is just between me and her. This is our man. No. Her daughter just died, and I'm here to support her. I'm like, no. This isn't between us. This isn't between us. I'm sorry. You need to go inside. This conversation has nothing to do with you.
No.
And he's like, no, I'm staying here. I don't want her to be taken advantage of and this and that and that. And like, what they're just trying to push me out, right? They don't like me because I see through their shit. It was fake.
Yeah, it sounds like predatory. Yeah,
100%. Even Jules, right, my fiance, she was trying to push away from them because they were too crazy. Let's just say that, right? Like just the stuff that they're pulling. She didn't trust them. And this is what she's told me, right? Like she wasn't going to their AA meetings anymore because she thinks it was just very fake, not real shit going on there, right? Not true.
Too bad.
And yeah, so I just smiled at him, and I just dropped the keys and the insurance on the table, smiled, turned around, and started walking away. He's like, where are you going? Sit down. And I just turned to him, and I just smiled, and I just shook my head, and I just walked away. And he's like, think about your daughter, man. Think about your daughter. And I'm like, what the hell does my daughter have to do with any of this? So then I walked away.
All the emotional strings. That's all that is.
Pardon me?
He's just manipulating. He's just pulling on all the emotions.
Exactly. And you know what? I did it with a smile on my face, man. I just took the high road. Everything I did in that whole thing, I took the high road. So what I heard after. Well, and that's the best thing to do, man, because then no one can. I know the truth. I know, and no one can take that away from me at the end of the day, right? And this is like
correct.
This is like, to be honest, this is one of the first times I'm really speaking on about this. I haven't really got into too much detail even about this on my podcast. So, and
there you go, Men Thrive Daily, folks. For the real.
Buddy, there you go.
Okay.
But so I was at the hospital because my mom was just in the hospital. She fell, had laceration over her eye, broke her leg, and had brain hemorrhaging. So she was in the hospital for a week, and I saw one of their family friends there, and she came up to me, and this was just last week, man. And she came up to me and she's like, I want to say I'm really sorry about everything and how everybody treated you. That person, her sponsor, was manipulating everybody, made up all this stuff. She stole even my fiance's clothing, stole a whole bunch of stuff, wouldn't give stuff back. A whole bunch of stuff is missing, and manipulated this whole thing.
People are crazy.
And it really ruined, not even like, to the point, like I was there for her mom every single day after after her daughter passed away. Her daughter used to call her 3 times a day, once in the morning, once around lunchtime, and once at night. I took on that responsibility to give her that for her daughter, because I wanted to help. I still loved her, but this lady started pushing me away. Yeah. And then to the point where last summer,
man, people come into your life for a reason and a season.
Yeah, and then a lesson.
Reason or a season.
And a lesson, yeah.
That's it. That's it. So the time it's like that door closes and then the next door is open. You're needed elsewhere, kind of thing.
I'll tell you, I learned a lot about myself and how to handle things, definitely. And that was the major thing. And, and it showed me who I am today, and like how, and what matters.
Without that, you don't learn that. Like,
Yeah.
that's the tuition, that's the suffering, that's the tuition to
Yeah.
develop the skills to be here today, to
Yeah.
like you say, go from a dead end to a detour. Now you're heading on. Who 5 years ago did you think you'd be on a
Yeah.
podcast talking about men's mental health?
Hell
No
no,
way.
man. No way, dude. I don't even like taking
Look
like
at the good
videos
that's
and
come out of
pictures
it.
of myself. This is huge for me. You know what I mean? This is
It took me
huge.
like 10 videos to make eye contact with the.
Yeah.
I remember I have one about 5 or 6 videos in it, and I'm like talking away like this. Like even at the beginning, because I'm trying to collect my thoughts, I was talking like this.
Yeah.
And then I go, there you go, eye contact.
Well, I'm
I was
looking
like,
at you, but my camera's up higher, so it's hard because I'm on a computer and everything, right? But yeah.
no, but I couldn't look at the thing, right? And right at the end
Yeah.
of the minute of talking or whatever, I'm like, look at the
Yeah.
there you go, eye contact. And it took
Yeah,
a long
man.
time.
But it's
Anyways.
been a wild journey, and I'm glad that I am where I am today and giving back, because at the end of the day we all need help, you know, and sometimes I hope that, you know, my story can resonate with someone,
Yeah.
and, you know, show that they're not alone and to help push forward. At the end of the day, that's what matters to me.
100%. Well, like you say, the butterfly effect too, right? You got to think.
Yeah.
I ran into a guy that I had talked to, I don't know, early in my journey. Let's say within a year, probably. And I don't know, he was nice to me. I didn't know anybody, and I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I just talked to him. He was like a guy down the street. I went over to ask if he had like scrap wood, because he had a sawmill, and I wanted to build a little thing for goats, because I got goats because I couldn't cut the lawn with the sun and everything. So I got 2 goats to eat the grass, so I went out to cut it. And I just ran into him, and I knocked on his door, and I was like, can I have those scraps? And then he's like, sure. So as I'm whatever sorting that out, I don't know, I just opened up. I'm a pretty open book, but it was kind of therapeutic. It was like, for the probably he's probably one of the first people that I talked to about my accident. Like, so we're pretty early in the thing, and I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't have catastrophic injury diagnosis and stuff yet. I'm still pretty early in, probably in the first year of frozen denial. You know, don't want to outrun my injuries with care and all that. And I talked to him and told my story and told him about some of the other things in life that had been happening that were pretty tough. And then I don't know, how long ago was that? A year ago, maybe? I ran into him at treatment. He was picking up his daughter. She was there, my chiropractor. She was just there for something, whatever she was there for. And I saw him in the parking lot. And I've hardly seen him since, once or twice, you know, in passing or whatever. And I said, she comes out. I had barely met her for a couple of minutes 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Whatever. She goes, oh, you're the guy from blah, blah, blah street? You look at the car accident? I go, yeah. She goes, oh, nice to see you. And I'm like, wow, that's amazing that you remembered me. She gets in the car, and then he's like, he said something, I forget what we were talking about, and he goes, just whatever we were talking about, but the times being hard or something, and he goes, I tell everybody your story.
Oh wow.
He goes, you're inspirational. And he goes, you know, people are talking about how hard things are, and he's like, you think you got it hard? You should see this guy, Steve. I met him. You know, did this and did this and did this, and then this happened, and then I went through identity theft twice, and then this happened, and this, and like my daughter had a seizure, and I'm like, there's been a lot more than my car accident, and you know, and it's just like that ate away at me for months. It's like that's where it all started. That one comment, and nobody's ever called me inspirational. And inspirational is a word I don't use very often. That I only equate to like people. There's like 3 people I've ever seen on TV on anything that I would call inspirational.
Yeah,
loosely. It was such a compliment, because for me that's like a very specific, very targeted. And then it got me thinking. And then I thought, because I like thought experiments, and I thought, if I never found out, if I never had that conversation, does that change anything? I'm like, I know that he's using my story to help somebody who was suffering. It was kind of the first moment I realized it was helping people, right? And so he's the way he said it to me. It's like he's told my story to somebody who was suffering, and used my story, my tragedy, as hope for somebody who was suffering. And it's like, if I never found out about that, does that change anything? And it's like, no, because that person that was suffering got to hear my story. Whether I found out or not is irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay. So then you can kind of like how many people are like that? How many people? Like, you got to think the self checkout rate is what, 3 per thousand, 10 per thousand? I don't know.
They say every minute. Someone.
No, but like, let's say like at least serious is let's say 10 per thousand just to make it easy.
Yeah.
I have 700,000 views now. So how many people are the 10 per thousand? Like, you're talking 7,000 people have watched one of my stupid videos that maybe they're driving home on a 5 o'clock on a Friday at the end of the rope, and they're just like, and then it's me talking to my chickens or something saying, don't give up. It's like, whether I find out or not, it doesn't matter. Like, I stopped caring about the views and the reach and it's like, if there's one person who shows up in the chat or in the comments, and it's like, it's all worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all
well,
worth
like
it, man.
you can see here. I don't know if you can see. It's too small, but they're like this. It never meets. My whole slogan is for the ones that will never meet, and I do this podcast for the ones that'll never meet, because there's people all over this world that are listening to my podcast. Like I said, 27 different countries. I'll never get to meet them,
No,
but
like,
this is why I do this.
It's not just your viewers. It's like one person watches the show and then goes home and tells their family about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my daughter was watching this guy in British Columbia, and they're in the Philippines," and he's like, you know, like it worked for me. You know how many people I told about the guy that you got me to watch? Like, I watched the guy that got the mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
And what did he say? He said he became an empath because of his abusive parent. And he said, you got used to the sound of the door closing in the driveway. If that was Dad's vehicle or if it was somebody else, you knew who it was coming before they came in the house. And he's like, I became an empath because of my abuse. And it was like, I thought being an empath was a gift. Like, look how lucky that I am.
No.
And I was like, damn it.
No.
He ruined it for me.
And that's what made me an empath.
I probably
is
told
because
like
of that.
40 people that story, though.
Yeah.
That one episode, I'm one viewer. I have told 40 people that story. Actually, did you know? I saw a video of Raw Minds where the empath and the thing, and it comes from a place of abuse. Like, I've shared that story to 40 people for sure, at least.
Crazy.
So I'm one viewer, though. I'm only going to show up as one viewer, but I've reached 41 people.
40
myself.
people. Yeah. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
And that's the beauty of like the whole social media too, is, you know, you put that out there and it's the ripple effect, right? At the end of the day, it's the ripple effect. Yeah. I mean, you just walking down the street, you know, you see someone that may be having a bad day, you can just see it in their face. You smile at them and say hello. Maybe they're on their way to go do something bad, you know, and you just maybe change that course. You know, it's the ripple effect. You know, and it happens. It can happen in all aspects. Know. Exactly.
And you'll never even know.
Like I said, that's why the slogan is for the ones that we never meet, right? It's because of it's for those people that I will never meet, but I'm doing this podcast for you. I mean, you saw that last video. I think it was like a 15-minute video I have on my podcast there. It was one of like maybe 2 weeks ago or something. You commented actually on it about, I was talking like for the man that's sitting in his car right now and listening to this, you matter. You care right now.
It's one of the best TikToks I've ever seen. That's probably the best TikTok I've ever seen.
Buddy, that makes me happy, man. I appreciate that. It's real. It's real. It is, man.
Yeah. No, it's super.
You know, like there's people struggling, like there, and that is like, if you're listening to my podcast in your car, that is exactly for you. You know, for the man that's sitting in his car, holding the steering wheel, trying to figure out his life, if he wants to be here or whatever it may be, this is for you.
Quit.
You know, that was probably one of the most important podcasts I've ever done in my life. It's only about 14 minutes, but it was probably one of the biggest and most important episodes I've ever had done. And it was at the end of, I had to put it out. It was at the very last day of Men's Mental Health Month. But let's face it, man, who gives a fuck about the month? Like, that should be a daily thing at the end of the day, you know? And it's sad that we only categorize it to a month. I mean, not just men.
It's moving along.
It slowly, it is. It has shifted. And like, I've noticed since like me starting this podcast, I've been doing it for 2 years now. I've seen a huge influx, and I'm not saying about me, but just in general, like in the broad aspect of everything. I've seen, it's done a jump, and I'm proud to be a part of, this change. I'm just a little speck in it, but I mean, I'm
But we're
proud
all
of it,
cogs
man.
in the machine, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
It's true.
everything else. You wanna change the country, you got to vote or whatever. Or every
Yeah.
journey starts with a step. It's
Yeah.
all that. It's like
But we need each other. Like, we need you, we need me, we need other creators, we need other people speaking, we need everybody. It's like a car, like if I don't have gas in the car, my car's not going anywhere. So if I have gas, I better have oil, or I better have this part, or I better have the timing belt, and one of us, like each of us is a part of that to make sure that this machine can go forward.
well, the other side too is like people that they're globally defeated, and it's like, wow, what? I'm just a guy from I can't do anything. It's like, are you kidding? Like, it would have been easy for me. I live in the middle of nowhere in a little rural place on the edge of the country. It's like, look where let's go.
Yeah.
It takes people got to show up.
Yeah, that's what it is. You got to show up. Well, do you know the starfish? I say it all the time.
So,
Well, do you know the starfish?
it's a trap. People get in this
Yeah.
trap. The starfish. You want to rip off one of his legs so it goes back?
Huh?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. No,
Different
Anthony. Yeah, different story. Anthony came on. Like, this is like the first episode. He was, I think, season 2, episode 13, or was it just episode 13? He was so good, right? We brought him on as a co-host, and he did great. He's now on to bigger, better things. He's becoming a fireman, right? And so I hope all the best for him. But the first time we met him, he says he reminds us of the boy and the starfish. So this old man starts walking around the beach, and he sees this little boy, and he's picking up starfish and throwing them in the water or back in the ocean. And so the old man goes up to the little boy, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And the boy grabs another starfish, throws it in the water, and he's like, I'm saving the starfish." And he's like, saving the starfish? There's like thousands of them on the beach. Like, you can't save them all. Like, what are you doing? And the boy just looks at him, grabs another starfish, throws it, and he says, "I saved that one." And do you understand about it? It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as you're pushing forward. If you have 1,000, you know what I mean? Like, you're still showing up. You're still doing it. You're still pushing forward. And that's like kind of what we're talking about.
Correct. That's why, I stopped worrying about all the things. If there's one person that shows up to our life, one person probably needs to be there.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's way more than enough, man.
Yeah. Or here's
And
your,
like you say,
your short.
I'll put it on YouTube. Like, what was it? I'm not a super Mr. Beast fan, but I saw a thing that said something like, was it 5,000 videos? 500 videos? Maybe it was 500 videos, something like that. Let's say it's 500. It's like he made 500 videos before going viral. It's like, that's a video every day for a year and a half and getting no views, and then all of a sudden you're huge. It's like, you could put, or the song that's all trendy, the anxiety song, it was written in like 2021. It's now super popular.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's weird like that.
You put this on, and then you put this on YouTube, and then who knows, 5 years from now it gets real popular because it hits some target words that are popular in the media, and then all of a sudden a bunch of young kids are watching, they're teenagers, and they're like, "What's Bass Pro Shop?" And then you're like, "Oh well, let's get this hat."
Well, hey, and it's pink, man, for bullying.
You have no idea. You have no idea, though, right?
Yeah. Well, and like that's the great thing about this too, is like we leave this digital footprint, and like years down the long, like I could be gone, years and years, and it would still be out there. And yeah, or someone stumbles upon it that needs it, and I could not be here.
People get really hyper fixated on, I only got 5 views today. It's like, that's going to be there for 30 years.
Yeah, more than
getting
that.
more views. And if one person 25 years from now watches that and changes their mind, like your
Yeah.
TikTok, like you said, guys sitting there in the pickup truck. I mean, it'll be an electric carpooling,
Yeah.
auto
Or a flying
driven,
vehicle, probably.
maybe, or
Maybe.
that, or it'll be something like from Mad Max and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
or like that, Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Be like, you sitting there with this wind up YouTube,
Yeah, to watch it.
like a YouTube pod, and he's like, "Don't give up." Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Perfect, perfect. That's it. That's awesome. Yeah, man.
The cyborgs played on the loudspeaker
Yeah, yeah.
as we mine.
Can you imagine, man? Can you imagine? That would be just like I. It's just amazing to be able to be a part of this, though. You know, and to like, it is shitty. Let's face it. It's shitty to go through shitty things. You know, it is. It's shitty to do it, but you know what? It has to happen in order for you to grow. Like, yeah, like no one's gonna want to.
Okay. And if you've got if the selflessness value like gets high enough, it's okay.
Yeah,
That's the link.
yeah,
It's like God of self. We want to be a selfish person right down here. If you're vapid, then you don't want to sacrifice anything to help anybody else. And it's like as that ticks up, you know,
yeah,
then it's like okay,
no.
change example. There's broken glass, and you have to crawl out with your kid because the house is on fire. That's the only way out. Are you going? 100%.
Yeah,
You're in the middle, and a grenade lands in the foxhole. Somebody jumps on it, saves everybody else. It's like once you get to that point, and I think a big part of it is seeing the positives. You can say proudly that you've saved at least 4 lives. So if you, a year from now, we do this again and you save 12 lives, it's less of a tragedy. And it's less of a tragedy every time you inject a bit more positivity. It's like a scale. You're shifting that balance just a little bit every time.
But
so it
you
gets
know,
to the point where you're kind of like I'm there now where I'm kind of like, it's okay. It's okay. It's not tragedy anymore. And I'm not saying they're going like, awesome, I'm so grateful for that, but I'm getting there.
yeah,
Someday, I bet you I'll get there.
yeah,
Best thing ever happened to me, you know?
yeah. I mean, like it's. I guess you could say it's like the phoenix, right? Born from the fire and raised. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about mindset. At the end of the day, it's mindset, and it's hard. It's hard to, you know, have the right mindset, especially when you're going into something tragic or something hard.
It's like you said, it's the job affair. This is another one because I'm spending a lot of time thinking about trauma. Like my wife and I were talking about. It's one of my next TikToks coming. Is going to be like what other thing in life would be that significant that isn't trauma? What can equate on life impact to that degree as a trauma that isn't trauma? And she said having kids. And I was like,
I was just gonna say that, man. Having my daughter at birth, definitely.
Biggest
Birth would
life-changing-
probably be that.
The question was, I asked her, I said, what is something that could happen in your life that would impact every aspect of your life? Because like you go to school, but it's still, you know, you see friends and things and all, you know, it's like having kids and how that it's like equally as impactful in maybe a not negative way, you know, but it's like,
I mean, let's face it, little kids are a pain in the ass sometimes, man. So it can't, but it's a love pain. You know what I mean? I love mine. I swear to God, man, mine was put on earth just to fucking give me a hard time, but it's okay because I love her to death.
the one your parents persuaded or whatever, like, I hope you get a kid that's just like you. Or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely did, man. Probably, yeah. But you know what? I wouldn't trade her for any. She is exactly like me. She's my mini me. You know what I mean? She means the world to me. She's the reason why I'm here today. You know, she's the reason why everything is of order, or it's what's it called? Controlled chaos. That's what it is in my life. It's controlled chaos, definitely. But like, yeah, I want to touch on something else here, man. Is like, you know, for the think about too all the people that you're impacting that aren't speaking up. You know what I mean? The ones that are quiet. You know, that's amazing too for the people that are out there that are just listening and just maybe just not at the stage of life to be able to reach out and ask for help, or maybe they have, but just not over on this side, and it's
Well, it's like I remember like when Jordan Peterson first started out, I liked him a lot right at the very beginning. He's changed a lot. When he got to
a
the
little
age of
bit,
where he's not so
a little bit.
and it's just I don't know. I think he's left his wheelhouse. I liked his
Yeah.
wheelhouse when he was more like the professor,
Yeah.
what's his first book? Um, I forget what it's called. Maps of Meaning. Like back then. I like that.
Mhm.
And I forget what you were talking about now. I'm getting tired.
About people not even knowing, like, you don't even know that you affect them when like if like someone needed that, you don't even know, the outreach is out there, and sometimes people are just not, at the point of reaching out and saying like thank you. Like, you don't know, some people just don't do that, and you're
Oh yeah, yeah. He was doing he was doing a book tour for 12 Hours for Life, which is a fantastic
Mhm.
book. That's one with the lobster, and he was really like taken aback by people's reactions, and he's like 100 people line up after I do a speech for 1,000 people, and 100 people or 200, 300 people are standing there, and he's like, the most common comment I get is middle-aged guys going, "You gave me the words to articulate how I've been feeling." Like you put it in a way that the caveman brain can communicate. Hey, I need that. I'm looking for discipline. I'm looking for structure. And it's like ways that, and it's like I find we do that doing this. That's why it's kind of like me airing my thoughts out in these videos, and people are like, "Oh, I've never heard it put like that." That's and you're like, that's because now I know I've like I don't want to use all the PC words, but you've like empowered somebody to be able to articulate their feelings and express their males to express their vulnerability in a way that's healthy, because now they've got the word. So because that's a big thing, is like they don't want to sound stupid, so they don't say anything, but it's like now they can articulate it in a way that makes sense. And it's like I go through fumbling along, like I'm like, like you watch any of my TikToks and I'm like, the idea comes to me while I'm talking. I'm like, yeah, that's the way to put it, like that.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm the same way, brother. I'm the same way. Yeah.
But I think that's a really, what's the word? I drove to get Botox in my neck today, so it's like a 10-hour drive. So I'm pretty cooked. It's like I'm losing my train of thought. It's like but it allows you to articulate that, right? And it's like that that's like a indirect bonus of what we're doing. Like you're there to help somebody who's having a hard time and pull them out of the well and all this stuff, but at the same time, it's like you're giving people tools to put in their toolbox, that when they're like, or maybe they run into somebody and they're like, well, I just like I do it constantly. I'm like, oh, I watched a reel the other day where my last video or the video before was Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was talking about how he got started at the Apollo, and it's like you are that guy now.
Yeah.
Like somebody's going to take that video with the guy at the driving in his truck, if you need to hear this, and he's going to take the comments that you made and he's going to share that with some guy who either himself or somebody else who's like really struggling. And it's like you've given people, Christians read the Bible to have the scriptures to be able to use in the situation, the tool, you've given somebody the tool that they can say, look, this is how it's supposed to go. This suffering is okay, because like that's why I think kind of like calling it tuition for character development is kind of a neat
I like
way
that.
to think about it.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Then you see somebody who's sitting on the bench at work with his bologna sandwich and he's miserable, and you're like, listen, Hank, like the suffering is how you become stronger. That's tuition you're paying today for the better future tomorrow, Hank. So get back up and go back. And then Hank's like, yeah, eat that bologna sandwich.
He's
Off
like,
he goes.
run.
Yeah. He's like, forget that nail. Like, that's gross. And it's but it's true, right? And it's like that's a really neat benefit that you don't even, I never set out to. My goal was to help men articulate their feelings. It was not my goal.
Can I like
happen?
This right now is exactly what we're talking about, because you were on my podcast and it inspired you to do this.
Correct. I wouldn't
It's
be
like,
here if it wasn't for
yeah,
about it.
it was exactly. This is exactly what we're talking about, and proof right here. You know what I mean? This is it
Correct.
right here, 100%. And I'm glad that I could do that and pull that out of you. Like I wasn't. It's not my MO or anything, but it helped you see that part of you that wanted to help people in the same way, and now you're doing it, and it's amazing.
Well, Terry last week, the guy with the burns, I'm the first person he's done. So like you were my first, I'm his first. So watch in a month, he'll be having live shows and that, you know what I mean, or whatever. Like,
Yeah, man.
it's cool, and that's how it works, right? The little cogs. And this little cog gets this wheel spinning, and that wheel starts spinning, and then now his wheel's spinning, and like, who knows who will.
But and you great, like that's a beautiful thing too. Is like I've had so many all walks of life on my podcast, from like high end. I mean, not high end, high state or whatever you want to call it, gangsters, to people gone through trauma, to Navy SEALs, people bringing out books, like you name it. Even like I told you, my good friend Jenny, she came on for sound baths. I mean, like all walks of life, all different types of, things that people used or what they've been through to help them. And at the end of the day, our battles are different, but the end goal is all the same. Like we were talking about.
Yeah, and the tools to be like to cope are very similar.
Similar, definitely similar. Great. Yeah.
So does Jocko Willink.
Yeah.
They're but totally different backgrounds, totally different problems, totally
exactly
different objective.
Well, see,
They're
Anthony
similar to
he's in NA, right? Narcotics Anonymous, right? And then, but then I had, like I said, the guy that came on and talked about, getting poisoned by his wife, right, with the mercury. Yeah. But he used psilocybin, to help him. So it's two people. So Anthony, he's not against it. It's just that's not what works for him. But then there's psilocybin, a guy using psilocybin, so-called drugs or whatever you want to call it, right? And even though it's two different paths, the ending is still the same. He used it in order to help him, and the psilocybin helped him. Like there's medical studies out there saying that psilocybin can help people, and his path, even though they were different, the ending, it was still the same, Yep. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. So it's really cool that like people get to come on, and no one's story is the same, but they are similar.
No.
And people can take those.
But it's like books. And movies are like this.
Exactly.
How many stories
genre?
Are based off the Bible?
Yeah.
Like the Lord of the Rings and the Matrix, they're all the whole. It's a story of the Bible. There's like the protagonist and all these things. It's the same.
It's just a different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, but how many movies are like that, or an underdog like Rocky, and like somebody getting defeated the entire movie and wins at the end, and everyone's like,
But like what I'm saying is, there's like all these walks of life. So like while doing this too, is I've learned so many different tools that other people have used too, and it's broadened my. It's brought in my, I don't even know what you want to call it.
Toolbox.
Yeah, my toolbox, right? And then
your toolbox. There's lots of tools in there.
And a big thing, and a big thing though that I that really brought my eyes open too is like, it doesn't matter if you got ADHD or you've been shot 26 times. Like when I had a guy on that shot 26 times, died, and came back. Or if you have ADHD.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it was a crazy episode. Season 2, episode 20, 21, 22.
I haven't got that yet. I gotta put a new.
You gotta watch it. It's insane.
Better choice of words. I gotta target on a guy like that.
Yeah. Well, and let's say six of those were in the head. 6 of them were in the head, and he survived.
Amazing.
It was crazy. But so I'm saying, like, so from that extreme to someone that has ADHD, it doesn't matter. That ADHD was like that to him. Like it just because it's not hard to someone else, it could be life crippling to that person. You know what I mean?
Correct.
There is no level. There is no level. You know what I mean? Like the ADHD could be crippling, and it was crippling to my host. And he came on. He's like, I'm not like your other.
Yeah, I saw that on a. I even said the same thing.
Yeah.
I saw that on a reel, and it was talking about like a 2-year-old, and it was like the 2-year-old drops his ice cream, and you're like, and he has a meltdown. You're like, quit being such a baby, like it's an ice cream,
Yeah.
relax. But to
Yeah.
that kid, it's everything. It's all that he
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
It's prized possession. It's on the floor. It's now inedible. The dreams and the hopes and I was gonna eat the cone, and it's over. And you just look at it and you're like, because you've got a mortgage and a life and a mouths to feed, and so you're like, what's an ice cream cone? Like, relax, kid. But to the kid, it's everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you've got tools because you've suffered and you've got a full toolbox. That kid has nothing in there.
Yeah.
So when he drops that ice cream and they're just hysterical, it's made me change as a parent.
Right.
And that's from like doing these things.
Right.
And that helps me to realize, like you said,
Yeah.
some people go through, I don't know, a little problem. Yeah, I don't know how better to word that. I'm being facetious, but it's like they're compared to what I've gone through, they might have little problems. Or I might look at somebody else who's gone through like things that I'm like, how do you get out of bed? Like I said 2 weeks ago, I had a girl come on who lost 2 children. Unfathomable to have a twin headstone with 2 kids' names on it.
Yeah.
One his.
Horrible.
And it's like, but I haven't gone through that, so I can't even comprehend how she gets up in the morning. But she's positive and she's sharing and she goes to work and helps people. And it's like, that's like that mountain. This is like what we talked about with your fiance. I'm on this side of that perspective. I can't imagine suffering through that today. Today, I'm like, no way. But she's over there on the other end, looking backwards like you are today, looking backwards, going, hey, I made it. It's like, it didn't break me. I didn't win or whatever. However, doesn't mean she doesn't cry. Doesn't mean she doesn't have horrible days. Doesn't mean she doesn't get defeated occasionally. But still, it's like, I can't imagine being there because I'm on this side of the mountain and there's a mountain in between us, and she's on the other side of the mountain going like, hey, it's all right, I'm alive, or whatever. Like,
yeah, it's so true,
like,
man.
and it takes that. You got to pay that. I haven't paid the tuition. She has. It's tough. It's tough. It's like it's the only way to get there.
Yeah. But and you know what, I just want to, like, I know we're getting to the end, but like I do want to leave at least with something for people. Yeah. Pick your heart. Pick your heart. At the end of the day, pick your heart. Right? That's some of the best advice I can give anybody is pick your heart. If you want to stay at home and stay in your bed and never get up, and that's easier for you than going to work and doing something with your life, I guess. Like pick your heart. What's your heart and pick it. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, just pick your heart. It's all hard in life. It's all hard. It's hard going to work and being an adult and paying bills, but it's also hard living on the streets and not having anything. Yeah. Pick your heart. Like, and that I'm not like, I'm just using that as an example. But I mean,
it's true, but people are in way more control of life than they realize, and
100%.
And a lot of people, life has taught people to you're your biggest obstacle. For the most of your life, you are the biggest obstacle, and if you could just get out of your own way, lots of things could improve. People don't realize that, and it's like, it's easier to say, oh well, it's because of this, it's because of my skin color, it's because I don't have rich parents, it's because.
That's victim mentality at the end of the day. I'm sorry to say, but that's victim mentality.
You can say that, like you said, if you choose your battle, you can do a lot. Not everybody can be an astronaut. It's like 1 in 100,000 people, or 1 in a million. Like, you can't be an astronaut. You're not going to the NHL either. You can't dunk a basketball. You're not going to play in the NBA. Like, you set a realistic goal. It's something attainable. It's like,
and
you probably can make it.
What happened to you was not your fault. Okay. What happened to you wasn't your fault, but it is your responsibility on how you control that the next steps. It may not be your fault. It wasn't my fault that my fiance died, but it's my responsibility what I'm going to do next in my life in order to live. And at the and like, I mean, it sucks. But it's okay to take a knee sometimes. And a lot of people don't. Yeah, and
weakness.
No, and a lot of people don't understand that. It's okay to take a knee next time. Just make sure that you get up. And if it's hard to get up, fucking call a friend to pull you up. At the end, it's just that's one of the big things too. It's like, it's okay to take a knee, but it's not okay not to get up at the end of the day. And this is why I have my podcast on men's mental health, to be able to pull these people up if they need it. And like, my email's out there. And do you mind if I plug my email? Yeah, you can get at me at rawmindspodcast@gmail.com. I mean, like, if you need someone to talk to, I'm totally willing to, like, I will do that. I don't know you, but I'm willing to do that because I just want to help people at the end of the day. Like, this is I'm a good human being. I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life and I want to give back. And I think that I found what fills my bucket, and this is what it does. I walked away from $120,000 a year job, because it doesn't fill my bucket. This is what fills my bucket. I want to help people. So if you are struggling, there's no judgment zone. Reach out to me. I just want to say that, put that out there for everybody that's listening.
And so where can we catch your content? You're on Spotify, YouTube?
Everything. I'm very, very, very proud of this, okay? I'm very proud of this. So you just got to go to Google and you just type in Raw Minds, and I'm like the first 3 pages. And I got, and I don't pay for that. It just happens, which is amazing. It's a miracle, like that's like, people pay a lot of money to get that. You know what I mean? But you can find Raw Minds on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok. I do shorts. We go live here. YouTube, I go live. We're on Twitch as well. I mean, you name it, we're on the platform. And like I said, if you can't find us, yeah, easy. And then rawminds.ca is my website. But don't laugh at it. I built it. I'm not a web designer. ChatGPT has helped me. It looks okay right now. I'm just trying to center everything. Okay. So just bear with me on that.
Anybody who does digital content can contact and help out and chip in.
Yeah.
Help the mission.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I'm going to be having no dead. Yeah, well, I'm going to be having No Deadbeat Society on. There's No Deadbeat Dad Society. He's a great buddy of mine. And he's got a podcast, and he's actually stopping his podcast and shifting everybody actually over to Raw Minds, which is amazing. And his society is actually going to be building me a new website. So I'm excited about September 1st. So that's really cool. So cool, paying it forward back to me. So what comes around goes around, man. So it's a beautiful cycle. So
okay, man. Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks. Appreciate you getting me into doing live shows. So everybody who's come to the live shows, it's Erick's fault. So appreciate you coming on and telling the story.
Hey,
I know
I appreciate this, man.
Hard to talk about, but
you know what?
It's good to share.
I do my podcast, man. You know me, man. I'm always pushing it out there, and I just want to help people, and I'm proud of you too, right? So
it gives hope, right? That there's life after trauma. Let's put it like that.
Definitely,
there's life after trauma.
Definitely. Well, you got to come back on mine too now. Like, I want you to come back on mine because I want you to talk about this stuff and like where you're at too, man. So we'll make that happen as well. A follow up. All right, man.
Part 2.
Part 2.
All right, guys. Appreciate everybody who's come. So thanks a lot for coming. Everybody have a good night.
Take it easy.
All right. Bye.